Hi, this is Amanda for Lavinia World, and today we're going to make a Christmas ornament out of a tile, some alcohol inks, and some Lavinia stamps. So let's get started. So here are the tiles that I'm using. They are some fancy tiles called Arabesque. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, but anyway, there's some fancy tiles that I got from, I believe, Home Depot. It could be Lowe's. You could probably find them at either. Anyway, I've had them for a while. They were meant to be a project a couple years ago for Christmas, and I just never got around to it. I am a craft hoarder. I can admit it. Anyway, so they come on the sheet, and you can just easily rip them off. It's not a big deal. So as you can see, I've got two tiles here, and I'm going to pop the names of the alcohol ink colors that I am using up on the screen. And I'm using one of the Tim Holtz alcohol ink applicators here. I'm just going to dab some of the alcohol ink onto the applicator. Anyway, so like I said, I've got two tiles here, but I only did one finished ornament, and that is because the second tile had a fatal accident close to the end. But we are not going to discuss that because it's a sore subject. Anyways, so I'm just letting you know that you will see the second tile throughout the video, but you're not actually going to see me make the tile because I cut that out. Usually, if you watch my videos, you will see that I typically leave my mistakes in, and I will typically show you how I fix my mistakes. But like I said, that tile had a fatal accident. So you're going to see me right here. I forgot to clean my tile off before I started. So I just dabbed a little bit of rubbing alcohol onto my craft rag. And then I'm just wiping that off real quick. All right, so I've got my colors on there, and I am going to dab some of the alcohol ink blending solution on there just a little bit. And now we're just going to pounce the alcohol ink applicator onto the tile, and you're just going to want to rotate it every once in a while to make sure that you're not getting kind of the same pattern, I guess. You just want to kind of vary the dots, the little dots of alcohol ink all over, and just get a random pattern. And you're just going to keep pouncing it until you think it looks good. And that's what I did here. It is going to blend in and look a little different as it dries. And so there is my finished tile, and you can see that second one also looked very beautiful as well. I'm just going to pop it up and show you here. I did use the different colors on that one. It was very sad that it got ruined. Anyway, like I said, sore subject. So I have got the Moon Fairy from Lavinia Stamps here, and I am going to ink it up with some Archival ink. So you want to either use Archival ink or StazOn for this. I prefer Archival. It's not quite as harsh on your clear stamps, but you can use either or. And I'm going to ink the Moon Fairy up without inking up the stars, and you will see why in a little bit. What was I going? Oh, another little side note. Off camera, I did seal the tiles with a clear coat. I will have the clear coat that I use because I can't remember offhand what it is called at the moment. The clear sealer that I use. But I did use the clear coat just to make sure that I didn't get a alcohol lift kind of technique. You can do that with Archival inks, with alcohol inks. So I seal my alcohol ink before I use Archival. Plus, I like to seal my alcohol inks also because sometimes I believe it's humidity. I'm not really sure. Sometimes I get a little bit of a tackiness and they wipe off on my hands, and so I do not want that to happen as well. So as you can see, I did stamp on the tile. When you stamp on tiles, they are very slick. Keep that in mind. You want to make sure that you stamp down. Do not move it at all. It's very easy to do. So stamp down and make sure that you only press down. Do not shift it at all. You can smear it. It's very easy to do. So anyway, here I'm going to use some anti-static powder tool. As you can see, the one on the right, the one that did not make it, does look very gorgeous as well at this point. Like I said, I got pretty far in the process before I screwed it up. Anyway, so I'm using some anti-static powder tool because I thought I'd try something a little different here. I thought that I would do a little bit of heat embossing on these tiles. So I'm taking the Lavinia Stamps Snowflakes, and I'm going to stamp that where the stars were on the Moon Fairy. And I also stamped a snowflake on the other one, and that is where my fatal mistake was. I shimmied it on accident because, like I said, it's slick, and the Versamark makes it really slick. That's where you really need to be careful if you're going to do this. It moved, and I went to wipe it off, and yeah. I had a little bit of rubbing alcohol on my rag, and it messed up the thing because I did not let my clear coat dry overnight, and I should, but I'm impatient and I didn't, and it wiped off my whole thing. Yeah, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I did. So, and that was my fatal mistake. There was no coming back from that, especially because I accidentally got the fairy in there too. All right, so I took a little scallop punch here from Stampin' Up, and I punched it out of some pearlescent cardstock that I had in my scrap bin. And I used some score tape to just attach the ribbon there. That way I didn't have to mess with that and the hot glue and burn my fingers, because I always burn my fingers with the hot glue, almost always. And then I'm attaching that to the back of the tile. And I'm doing this because, one, I didn't want to have the ugly ribbon ends there and the ugly hot glue and all that. And this also provides a place for me to put a to and from, the date, or the year, whatever. Whatever you want to put on the back of your ornament. I kind of like to put at least the date if I'm going to keep it. If you want to give it away, I like to do like a to and from, because I really cherish homemade ornaments in my family, and I like to know who they're from, what year I got them, that sort of thing. So that finishes up the project for today. I hope that you enjoyed it. Don't forget the supply links are in the description box below, and the link to the Lavinia store and the Facebook group and all that are in the description box below. And have a great day.